our nation's capital at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland.
Today, longtime foes square off in the NFC East, as it'll be the Dallas Cowboys taking on the Washington Commanders.
Set to go now on a beautiful sunny afternoon, and we are underway from FedEx Field.
Taken at the goal line. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
Take over first and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Here's Gibson to start the drive.
And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. Opening quarter, his opening carry of the game, and I think they'll give it to him a few more times, as they should.
You're exactly right about that. With that type of a run, you want to repeat it many times until they show signs of stopping it. I think he did his visualization exercise before this one, and they're paying off.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
But when you're going up against a talented receiver like that, you just know that they're going to bring more people to him, right? They're going to double cover him every chance they get.
And I think that is what we're going to see all game long, an early taste of that double, maybe even sometimes triple coverage we might see.
Yeah, I think what they're counting on, his talent to sometimes beat that double coverage.
Here's 2nd and 10. A give up the middle to Gibson.
And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
But this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting them to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down? You're a little off balance.
They'll come up now 3rd and 3. Howell trying to pick it up on 3rd. And he had to reach for that one, but can't grab it. It's behind him, and it's incomplete.
I'm quite sure that they envisioned a much better start to this game when they practiced all week. But they failed on that 3rd down play. That brings up 4th down, and they'll probably have to punt it away.
Oh, a big decision here early. Look at this. They're going to go for it on their own side of the field.
Going for it on 4th. Here's Howell. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And this is going to wind up working out just fine as he'll have a Washington first down. And an exhale there as they convert on 4th.
I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
On 1st and 2. Gibson gets hit, and he fumbles it.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
The fumble on 1st down. Now here's 2nd down. Now they go play action with Howell. He's got the hook up downfield to Samuel.
And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards.
Execution was one of their watchwords leading up to this one. And on that play, able to execute brilliantly here on this opening drive.
Straight ahead, Gibson. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Commanders. Antonio Gibson.
A 13-yard touchdown run.
And the Commanders are on the board first here this afternoon.
And they do exactly what they wanted to. Opening drive, they get into the end zone. They do it on the ground.
And not only is the person lugging the ball happy, of course, because he got it into the end zone. How about the offensive linemen and receivers who are blocking for him? They have to feel great about themselves, sticking it in the end zone on a running play.
Extra point by Sly is up and good.
And that makes the score 7-0.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. So the drive's going to start with Pollard. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Well, that's not the way you want to start. A first pass attempt and a first drop all in one.
They've got plenty of time to make up for it, but obviously not the way you want to get things started. Got to shake that off and get going.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Prescott now. And that is incomplete.
One first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8. The Cowboys will go. Prescott.
He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Benjamin St-Juste.
And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20.
So that changes things. You get the interception, and then to boot, a good return tacked on.
And really it was down to him versus the quarterback on the return, and that's one you would think the defender would win. But a nice job there of seeing the play all the way to the end and making the tackle by the QB.
And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. They'll try the left side with Gibson.
And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
He'll buy some time right.
Oh, Howe loses it.
It's picked up by the Cowboys. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. He tried to buy some time to the right. So, Charles, when a guy gets out of the pocket, what's the focus of the quarterback?
Most of them keep their eyes downfield. They want to try and make a play throwing the ball. And some of them, they want to tuck it and go. But when they scramble, in this case, as you said, to the right, you're cutting the field in half. So good defenses kind of converge in that spot, and they don't give you much territory to throw the ball. He had nowhere to go with it. Ends up getting the ball stripped.
Behind the chain, 2nd and 13.
To throw is Prescott. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. trying to run for it with Pollard.
And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And that's complete to Cooks. And now this is going to be close. The defense says they stopped him, and they did. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it.
And Washington will take control of the football in great field position. Here's a give to Gibson.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
Now a first carry here for Robinson. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker.
Robinson will try to pick it up.
And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a first down.
Well, we got beefeaters licking their chops and tasty dish in one fell swoop.
I did apologize in advance, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. That line's not eating tofu, I'll tell you that much for free. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
At the 24-yard line.
Throwing, Prescott.
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by Benjamin St-Juste. On first down, Howell. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
That incompletion certainly slows things down a little bit and brings up a very important call for 2nd and long. What do? Run and try and get some yardage and make it 3rd and manageable? Or challenge the coverage again, hoping for a bigger gain?
Now a 2nd and 10. 2nd down throw for Howell. Target is to Dotson, and he's got him.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25.
15 yards the pickup. First down, Washington.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you make curl a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion.
60 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
All right, I got to ask you, with these RPOs, essentially the quarterback has 3 options, right? So what's different from that versus the triple option that we see the service academies run at the college level?
As a general rule, the triple option at the college level, most things are called outside of the quarterback faking it to the runner and then keeping it himself and maybe having a trail back. What I mean is, in the NFL, that option to throw the football all comes about organically. It's a natural deal based on reads. In college, if you're going to throw the football for triple option, you've actually called that play.
Now 2nd and 9. Second down, Howell back to pass.
Got his tight end. That's complete. That's Thomas.
Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts,
as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half.
Sly able to put this one through.
And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle. They'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter.
10-0 is our score as we get started again on EA Sports. No run back here to begin the half, and we will start at the 25-yard line.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive.
Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually.
Down the numbers. There he goes.
Inside the 20.
Touchdown, Cowboys.
Tony Pollard, 75 yards. And the Cowboys come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the 3rd quarter.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And he won't quite make it to the 25.
Washington takes over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10.
They'll start on the ground with Gibson.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39.
76 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10.
Faking the handoff. Howell
sliding out of the pocket.
He completes this to Cole Turner.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
It's another 1st down as this time they get an even 20.
Oh, a lot of credit to the play caller here. He saw the design in his mind and implemented it. A little zone stretcher here because they started the tight end on the left side of the formation and set him on a crossing route. And this works really well when you can find that space between levels, and they were able to do so for good yardage.
Tackle there by Leighton Vander Esch.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
On third down, here's Gibson.
Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up fourth down.
A gain of 3. It's fourth down.
Fourth down, Howell. Able to find the open man. That's complete. Touchdown! Curtis Samuel, 35 yards. And the Commanders' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points.
Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give him a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it's in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
The extra point by Sly is up and good.
And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown.
And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They trail by 10, 17-7 as they come up on a 1st and 10. They'll run with Pollard to begin the drive. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
First down, Dallas.
Going to run again here with Pollard.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. How about Jonathan Allen there pushing upfield to make the stop behind the line? After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13.
Here we go, 46.
Pollard will take it up the gut.
And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. It's a 7-yard pickup. They'll be looking now to 3rd and 6.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape.
And Prescott, his 3rd interception. Down the right sideline.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. A handoff for Gibson.
And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
No big surprise. Micah Parsons doing what he does so well, dropping him for a loss.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
Powell.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by Malik Hooker.
And the Cowboys are right back in this football game.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive.
The interception was a great starting point, but now they need points pretty quickly, down 2 scores.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. His throw incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
And he's taken down, but able to get this up to the 20-yard line. So the previous play, a big help, as now they'll have it 1st and 10 up at the 20.
Out of the gun, a give to Pollard.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Prescott from the gun. And that is incomplete.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
The offense on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 7. Now Prescott. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
The sack by the linebacker, Jamin Davis.
Even keeping the back end for extra protection on 3rd down, they still couldn't prevent the sack. Now it's 4th and long thanks to a terrific individual effort on defense.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Desperation time. Prescott on 4th. And this is intercepted, and that should do it.
Picked off by Emmanuel Forbes.
And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
Well, we saw plenty of that during his much-heralded college career. He parlayed that into becoming a first-round selection, and now here he is making interceptions in the National Football League.
And this is a guy that has all the physical tools, but the thing that sets him apart is what he's got between his ears. And that's the 6th sense for knowing where the football is going. Just an excellent play there to create the turnover.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, 4th quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
They'll run with Gibson.
And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. Able to stay in bounds, and the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. 2nd, 3rd guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
And now this defense trying to use the clock to their advantage. They'll take the timeout here with 2:08 left, and then they'll have another stop coming up at the 2-minute warning.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Howell, 3rd and goal. He's got it. Touchdown, Commanders.
Curtis Samuel, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Commanders are an extra point away from making this a 3-score game. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
Extra point by Sly is up and good.
And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown.
And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage, because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
First down, Prescott. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
That is caught by Lamb. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They'll run with Pollard. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. Here's Prescott. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Cameron Curl. And the Commanders are going to take over at their own 2-yard line.
The Commanders take over first and 10 at their own 2-yard line.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November. How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Here's Tressway now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. And it's fielded at the 34.
So a victory here for the Commanders.
And they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So that'll do it for my partner.